for tuning in. My name is Maddie Flynn, and today we are discussing money. What would you say if I told you I hold the secret to financial freedom? What if I told you I could save you a lot of headaches later if you implement just one behavior into your financial life? If this sounds like something you're interested in, then you have tuned into the right podcast. Throughout this short podcast, we are going to explore one behavior you can implement that will improve your finances now as a college student as well as in the future. When you are through, you will be able to recall the behavior and apply it to your current financial situation, whether you work full-time or just a few hours a week. How you ultimately apply it is up to you, but I can assure you, if you pay attention and implement it into your own finances, you will not regret it. So let's take a second and think about a scenario. Let's say you're a full-time college student and your schedule allows you to work 25 hours a week. Spring break's coming up and you want to take a trip to the beach with your friends. If you start saving now, you'll be able to pay for the trip in a few months. Although, if you get a credit card, you'll be able to pay for the trip right now and you could just pay it off later. What should you do? Have you been in a situation similar to this before? So what's our answer? Let's look at our options. Option A is saving money until you have enough to pay for the trip. You'll have to cut back extra spending, but you'll be able to pay in no time if you're disciplined. Option B, you could get a credit card, and you could just pay for your trip right now. You don't have to cut back on your spending, and you'll just have a credit card bill each month. When you first look at this scenario, you may think the credit card is best, because you could just go ahead and pay for the trip, you don't have to change your budget, and all is good to go. You also may have every intention of paying the bill each month, but what happens if you lose your job? Forget to make a payment? What if you get a flat tire and have to use the money you were going to use to make the payment to fix your vehicle? What would you do if you were in a situation where you had a credit card bill and you couldn't pay the bill? This happens to so many people and I hear about it all the time. Although you may think the credit card was the best option, in the long run, not so much. Credit cards come with high interest rates, which means you'll also have to pay extra. For example, if you borrow $1,000 on a credit card and it has a 15% interest rate, overall you'll be paying $150 extra. I don't know about you, but I can think of many things to do with $150 that sound better than credit card fees. If you don't make your payment, it can affect your credit score, which could impact your ability to buy a car or get a mortgage loan in the future. Let's look at another situation. Let's say you have a scholarship for your tuition, but you're responsible for paying for your own books. When you log into your school account, you notice you have an option to use financial aid to pay for your books. You have a savings account and can just pull some money and pay right now for your books. But if you could just use financial aid, you would be able to use your savings for something else, like a shopping spree with your friends. What do? Hopefully, you realize that in the second situation, although it's enticing to use financial aid and then go shopping, the smartest idea is just to pay for the books with your savings. Sure, those loans are there, and you usually don't have to pay them until you graduate, but you still have to pay for them. And if you don't find a job right away, you might be stuck with student loan payments that you just can't afford. As a side note here, there are always going to be people who tell you to take out loans so you can have fun in school. Well, I don't know about you, but to me, a few years of fun is not worth many years of stress that might follow due to student loan and credit card debt. So let's review. Thomas Jefferson once said, "Never spend your money before you've earned it." This is directly applicable to the behavior we have learned about today. If you just remember that spending money before you have it now can cause financial stress in the future, your finances will be in a much better state. Think of it this way. If you live with a roommate that has 3 credit cards and all the best stuff out there, and you live within your means and only spend what you have while in college, when you walk across that stage, your degree will be financially free from ties, and your roommate, she could still be paying for hers 20 years down the road. It really does pay to spend only what you have. It is my hope that this podcast provided you with the knowledge you need to behave fiscally responsible now in an effort to be financially free in the future. It's up to you to implement this behavior into your everyday finances.